everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Sunday Politics, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Abuja. Tonight, we begin with a critical development in the lead-up to the highly anticipated governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State, which is scheduled to be on the 11th of November 2023. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is gearing up for a crucial round of these elections and have organized what they call a mock accreditation exercise as part of their preparations for the upcoming elections. This exercise will play a vital role in ensuring a smooth and efficient electoral process for the people of these states. A lot more Nigerians will now be more critical with the umpire, considering some of the glitches and errors experienced in the last general elections. Set of elections in November will give the umpire an opportunity to fix what has become a sort of a damaged reputation. In a bid to enhance the integrity of the democratic process, INEC has organized this series of mock accreditation events across the 3 states, and these exercises will allow INEC officials to test their equipment, fine-tune their procedures, and address any potential challenges before the actual election day. The mock accreditation is expected to serve as a litmus test for the Electoral Commission, ensuring that the November 11 elections will be conducted in a fair, transparent, and efficient manner. I'd like you to listen to the INEC the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, over these preparations.
The method is as provided by law: electronic accreditation, electronic upload of results on the IRF portal, and that is why we are doing this mock. So please disregard whatever was reported about what the rep was said to have said in Bayelsa. That's going to be the procedure, and it's for that reason that I will advise you also, for those who are registered on the IRF portal, that in the next 2 hours or so, you should go to the IRF portal. You'll see the result of the mock from all the 3 states. Next week, Friday, there is going to be a high-level meeting in Abuja, chaired by myself and the National Security Advisor, in which all the security chiefs will be present, no representation, to discuss the issue of security for the 3 states, so on top of the situation in terms of security arrangement and security deployment.
That is the INEC chairman, and a lot of issues have come up in relation to how the results are going to be transmitted. Anybody who watched and monitor the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, you know what has been a major debate between the political parties and INEC over the transmission of the result. Will IREV, which is the cloud space where INEC dumped some of these results that are being posted from the polling unit up on the cloud where you can cross-check the result. Will it be in use? How will INEC electronically conduct, post the results? These are some of the issues. Also tonight, our attention is also going to be on Lagos State. Now, we're going to be having an interview with one of the cabinet members in the Sanwo-Olu government as we delve into the recent arrest, clampdowns on outlets, and the shutting of markets in Lagos due to environmental breaches. This crackdown comes as part of the state's commitment to enhancing environmental sustainability and ensuring that businesses and markets within Lagos are operating in compliance with environmental regulations. Over the past weeks, we've seen in Lagos, the Environment Ministry in Lagos seems to have carried the burden of pushing Sanwo-Olu's agenda in making sure that environmental breaches are rid out of that state. So we've seen a surge in enforcement actions against establishments that are being flouting environmental regulations. This has generated significant public interest and raised questions about the state's approach to environmental enforcement. Tonight we'll sit down with the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos and get the rationale behind these actions, their impact on the local economy, and the steps the state government is taking to maintain a clean and sustainable environment for Lagosians. Tonight, I'm being joined from our Lagos studio by Tokunbo Wahab, who is the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos. Thank you so much, Tokunbo, for joining us tonight on the program.
Pleasure, sure.
Thank you so much indeed. Let's begin. It does look like from usually in Lagos, we see more of activities in the works ministry, in the transport ministry, and in some other ministry. But environment seems to have been the poster ministry of the Sanwo-Olu cabinet government. Why is this an attention for the Sanwo-Olu government? It does look like early in the day. Is that one of the major focal points of this government, or what exactly has brought these activities that we have seen recently?
Thank you very much, Sean. This is the template we're going to use for the next 4 years. The Ministry of Environment and Water Resources is a public-facing ministry, which invariably means we are seen, we are felt in everything that happens in the ecosystem by Lagosians. And we have appraised where we are, and we say to ourselves, we can't play the ostrich going further. We need to take the bull by the horn and address the critical issues affecting the environment. And that's what we've been doing for the past few weeks.
An understanding, we've seen these clampdowns and this shutting and arrests that have been made. We understand about 30 persons were arrested a few days ago. Two popular markets, Owode Onere Market, Mile 12 markets, have been shut. Some nightclubs, some restaurants are being shut in Lagos. For the sake of clarity, there are those who believe that some of these actions are politically driven. Why are they shutting down of some of these places?
Okay, thank you very much, Sheung. We did just clamp down on markets and business places. We served requisite notices. La Sepa served, Loma served, and we gave them time to conform with the requirements of the law. For instance, we served Alaya Biagba market, we served the market at Abule Egba, we served the market at Oyingbo, telling them you have to clean up your environment and meet up the requirements to sell in these places. But typical of Nigerians, brazen in our attitude, brazen in our conduct, believing it's business as usual. So when the notices expired, we had to shut them down. And when they complied with the requirement of Loma, we opened them. So what's tribal about it? What's ethnic about it? Oh, we also, after opening them, other markets that had not complied, we had to make them conform with the laws. Okay, we shut Ladipo. And so what? Ladipo was so dirty. Those that trade in Ladipo, are there superhumans, those that trade at Oyingbo markets? No. It's a level playing field. 3 days ago, Mile 12 market was shut. And within the span of 48 hours, they did everything they ought to have done
in the
for
elections,
weeks.
You know what happened about people who live and work in Ladipo market. So elections have been won and lost, cases are in court, and few days later, a few weeks later, government is shutting down businesses around Ladipo where the so perceived opponents or those who are in the stronghold of the opposition to the APC government have their business being shut down. Don't you think rationally or somehow people will think that this is a witch hunt?
Sure, I don't see ethnicity in enforcement. I don't see color. I don't see race. I don't see creed. I see the law. And I see infractions. So if you throw this at me, what do you throw at me when I said I shut down Alaya Biagba market at Ajegunle? What do you throw at me when I said I shut and reopened Mile 12 markets? What will you say about the Oyingbo markets? So we should stop elevating these ethnic divides. Whatever is wrong is wrong. Whatever is right is right. And that's what we're trying to do. And we should get used to it.
So these markets, for example, my 12 Owode Onire market, these are some of the most popular markets in Lagos. What did you find out about these markets before they are being shut down?
Thank you very much. Very dirty, very filthy, not befitting of a market, so to say. And you see, these are places where people come to buy and sell things that we consume at home. These places also come from somewhere to sell and trade there. So if they are not meeting all the requirements of the law, why can't we take actions against them? Why must we cherry pick our enforcement? We didn't just come to my 12 3 days ago, or 3 days ago. We started from Oyinbo Market, Ale Abiagba Market, the market at Abule Egba, Tejo Show, part of Tejo Show had to be, look, enforcement is enforcement, level playing field, and let's do the right thing. Now, within 48 hours, we had to reopen my 12 market because they complied. They were selling on the street. They covered a whole lane. The service lane was taken over by traders. They complied in 48 hours. Why must we enforce for them to comply? That's the question we must ask ourselves. Must we enforce for people to comply, to do the right thing? No. But it's in our nature to be brazen. And this cannot go on. We have to abate that nuisance. And that's what we're trying to do.
So what about, okay, so you're talking about Owode Onire, the My 12 market, or those who believe that if notices were given, and considering that in a moment and a period where the president declared that a state of emergency on food security in the country, that the impact on my 12 market as a food market, and where you have a convergence of marketers coming in and out of Lagos trading, that will impact on food inflation in Lagos. Did you see the possibility of the impact on the local economy when you were given the notices before you shut it down? The shutdown will culminate into a punitive measure which will have an effect on the local economy. Did you weigh these effects?
Sheung, we don't just take decisions because we want to take decisions. We weigh all the options. And that was why we had to ensure they serve them notices to comply. But when they fail, what do you have to do? You have to enforce the law. And you see, if we go the emotional route to say there will be food inflation, have you quantified what we're going to lose if there's a cholera outbreak because of the filthy environment we are going to buy in from? Have you ever thought about that in the old matrix? Have you ever thought about if there's a cholera outbreak, for instance, the state will be spending so much money on health to contain it. So if your environment is clean, however, that will be saved for other projects in the state. So let us put it in perspective. We understand what you're talking about, but we can't be emotional with our enforcement. Yes, and I'm glad they complied in 48 hours, unlike the other markets, and we opened them for business.
I mean, we know the rains are heavily here, and if you look at Lagos State, is a low-lying coastal city. Those experts will say that it's 1 meter above sea level. In fact, there are areas in Lagos that it's believed that if care is not taken, might be swept away by rainwaters if there rains. And we look at the so-called eyebrow areas of Lagos State, for example, Lekki area, Lekki-Ajah axis. You will see what is happening to them every day. I see that some of the footage that we have, how you and your enforcement team have gone around in Lekki area, shutting down some buildings, and we see people wailing and crying when you said that their buildings are going to be brought down. So the question is, what was the Lagos State government doing? It's the same APC government over the last few years. People were building on waterways and building on drainage channels, yet now they are being asked to evacuate, and their buildings are going to be brought down without compensation. How do you respond to some of these concerns?
Okay, I'll break it down for you, Sheon. 3 years ago, okay, 20 years ago, there was a channel part for the canal, the primary collector for the whole of that area, Lekki 2 to Ikota River. 20 years, the alignment was created with setbacks. All the estates in Lekki 2 came to meet that alignment. For one reason or the other, people chose to encroach on the alignment. So pre-COVID, there were served notices that we can't go on this trajectory. You guys have to move your buildings and let us have this setback to clean this drainage and let the water flow to the Ikota River. Nigerians for good hair chose to disobey government. Then COVID happened. People had to shelter for safety. Post-COVID, there were served notices again that we have to abate this nuisance you caused on the water part. Coincidentally, 4 weeks ago, there was a petition from 12 villages about flooding. So we chose to go there 10 days ago. On getting there, we were shocked. Your correspondents were there. We saw what was on ground. They covered a canal part to something lesser than a tertiary channel for water. And that was the cause of the flooding. And we had two choices to make. Should we allow this nuisance to continue, or should we just remove the nuisance? And we served notices on them. We reiterated our position that, look, we are going to enforce this time around that you have done something illegal. We can't vest legality on it. That's my own mantra. After the notices expired, we chose to enforce. It's sad. It's sad because properties had to go down. But the ripple effect is beyond those properties. Ask yourself, why would they whimsically build on a canal path? Why? It's the story of a man that has the lap of a buffalo on his head and is still trying to open the cricket hole. Why can't you keep the parts of the canal as it is in the original master plan? So what we are just doing is removing the nuisance to allow the water to flow to the Ikota River as originally planned. And in so doing, we are saving 12 villages by taking off this nuisance on the canal part. We are saving over 12 villages from flooding. That's on the one hand. You also said, yes, approvals. So if you have an illegal title, nobody can make it legal for you, because the foundation of it, like you know in law, is you can't put something on nothing. So most of them that said they had approvals, from where? From where? I was at VGC on Friday. VGC has been witnessing flooding for over 12 years because 3 houses, I repeat, chose to block the canal that should take the water from VGC to the lagoon. They've been served notices. They've been very brazen in their attitude. And on getting there, it was no rocket science. We took a firm decision right there and then. Remove this extension of fence, remove the extension of property on the canal part at VGC that will allow the water flow into the lagoon. And as we speak tonight, that is being done. So we are not cherry-picking enforcement here, but we are doing the right thing. We have to make a decision on our own. How do we want to respond to our environment? The environment is the master of man, not the other way around. Look at the whole world. There's a global warming. Virtually everywhere is flooding. From Sydney to Spain to the US. These are developed climes. But Lagos, the past few years, we've been able to address a lot of our flooding issues because we have been very proactive. So if we have pockets of places where there are still flooding, we must take steps to address them. It will be painful, very painful, when you see houses go down. However, public good overrides those emotional private interests for me. So the enforcement goes beyond approval of somebody looking at them for the past few years. What do I say about that? when they were served notices pre-COVID.
So the question is that, Mr. Wahab, the question is that, are you putting, because now those who built a few years ago on these channels and these canals will still build if you take your eyes off in the next few months. Are there processes, are there measures, there are permanent measures to ensure that people do not breach building codes and building rules in such a way that environmental breaches now will be committed and putting the lives and the livelihoods of Lagosians at risk at every other time when we have rains, and the Lagos State government will then now clamp down on them?
I can simply say to you,
as a lawyer, you know, where the issue of equity now comes for someone who spent a lot of money, albeit on an illegal title that he owns, but equity then may prevail to say, what about the money spent on the property, on the land, the hard-earned money, the sweat that he has gained? So what are the permanent measures that Lagos State is putting, not just coming at every 4 years or 3 years to say, we are pulling these buildings down?
Sure, internally, we're also looking at things to put in place. To start with, we shall never allow people take a shot at public spaces and get away with it. We shall never, in capital. And we are enforcing to send a very strong signal to those that are believing that they can do those things and get away with them. Now, I will come to what we are putting in place. We have said to ourselves internally, whoever is involved in any district or any area with respect to enforcement, monitoring, must be up and doing in his or our own responsibilities. We're also saying to ourselves, whoever goes to vest title that you can't vest because you can't give what you do not have, nemo that could not abet, you are just wasting your time. Now, on our part, what we have to ensure we do is ensure we enforce the law without fear or favor to anybody. So if I am enforcing the law against the man at Oshodi or Oyibo, I should have the balls to enforce it against the man in VI, Ikoyi, and Lekki. I should also say to myself, institutionally, what we are doing, we have to ensure that we sustain them. And that comes in with LASEPA, with LOMA, and other agencies under the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. LOMA, for instance, in the past few days, they've been making arrests of people that dump on the median of the road. And they are taking them to court. There is a mobile court for it. Now, we are also making sure that we enforce the law to the letter. If the court says, oh, you're guilty and you have to do communal service for 30 days, that's a form of conviction. Or if the court says, fine them for 30 days, that's a form of conviction. But what we should not allow is allow the environment to go to the dogs. That is what we are pulling back from. I saw a video of a nightclub owner that attacked government officials that chose to seal a property in Lekki 1. And I said to myself, can you touch a cop anywhere in the world? Can you just touch a cop that chose to ask you questions? You can't. So why must you be brazen to unleash your staffs because your nightclub was polluting the environment with noise and they chose to seal it up? You beat government officials with blood all over them. So now you are now running around that they should appeal, that we should not prosecute them. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. We have to make people examples.
Mr. Wahab,
yes?
Yeah. So let me quickly ask this. You said, yes, you sent out notices to some of these places. Some of them are saying there are no notices from the state government. For example, in Owode Onire Market, in Ladipo Market, or in My 12 Market, some of these marketers are saying they have not seen any. Do you have copies of these notices that you have sent to them? At least to prepare their minds
the government will never
for what was coming on them.
The government will never take steps, firm actions without notices. For the markets, they will serve notices to abide and clean up the environment.
Do you have copies? Do you have
I don't have them on me here, but we have copies in the file.
You have copies of the notices?
Loma don't have copies in the file.
Anybody who is challenging, or anybody who is challenging your your notice to them, you can show them. Do you have it?
Oh, of course, we do have them. We do have them, Shehu. We do have them. We have all the notices in place.
Okay. So now it brings something also to mind. You have marked a lot of buildings and structures in Lagos, and I understand that this is going to go across several areas in Lagos, preparing people's minds that if you have an illegal building, I mean, a lot of people will be asking, what were the authorities in Lagos looking at when illegal structures are being erected everywhere in Lagos, such that now become a nuisance, just as the state government is putting in. But the question is, you have marked several buildings and several structures in Lagos for demolition because they're breaching the master plan of Lagos State. How far-reaching is this? How many buildings have you here marked to go down?
Unfortunately, I don't have the numbers, but for each area, we serve notices and then we mark the buildings that are on our own alignments for canal. That's primary collector, secondary collector. And what we're trying to do is let them realize that it gets to a point in our lives where we have to make a decision of who we want to be and what we want in our own environment. So nobody can tell me that I will embark on such far-reaching action without a formal notice. I'm not crazy. But if notices were served, for instance, the one you showed at Ikota, they had notices, they had meetings, and they told them the options. But they chose to be brazen and built more. They even built more in the course of the conversation in between to cover the whole place. And it's about that brazen attitude of nothing is going to happen. Is it not Nigeria? We're going to talk to somebody to talk to somebody. And I'm glad my principal, the governor, and his deputy had not intervened at all. I'm glad the Speaker of the House had not even, because they realized we have to put this team back on track. And they've been very supportive. And I thank them for this. So we have served notices on them. Those that we have not served, we are going to serve them with side notices. And after the notice expires, if you can't take away the property abating or forming the nuisance on my canal part, I will help you take it away. What I should be asking them to do is, you have to be paying government compensation for deploying the taxpayers' monies to fix those things that you cost, those nuisances that you cost us. And if you, on your own, think, oh, by the way, I have a title from government to justify me blocking a canal, bring your title forward. And then we'll come to that table to discuss it. I have asked all of them. The one at the court, I said,
quickly,
do you have a title to cover justify this? I said, no.
Let me ask you quickly. Lagos State accounts for almost, the size of the part of Lagos covered by water is almost 40%. And out of the entire 850-kilometer stretch of Nigeria coastline, Lagos has about almost 180 kilometers. And there are those who believe that the water bodies in Lagos, that is almost half of Lagos State, are potent a whole lot. And in fact, the predictions and projections of 2030, of 2050, is that most part of Lagos might be underwater if care is not taken. As of the last record that I can extract is that Lagos State got about 1.48 billion naira as intervention or as ecological fund intervention from the federal government. There are those who will say, we have not seen the effect of such monies. Can you tell Lagosians tonight what these kind of monies are being used for? How can they see it physically that these ecological funds are being used when rainwaters are threatening the existence of the city of Lagos?
Okay, thank you very much, Shehu. We have about 169 primary channels. That's a big canal. And then we have over 1,000 secondary collectors in the state. And we are still doing more. I can safely tell you, to do one channel of about 10 kilometers, like the one we are doing at Aburu, from Abule Egba down through Command, it's over 10 kilometers. The amount you mentioned from the Ecological Fund, we do respect, won't do a fraction of that. However, we appreciate the support from federal government. The problem with us goes beyond the funding, Sheon. It's about human attitude to the environment. We have a major channel, primary channel at Lut, Idiaraba. You won't believe it. People chose to make it a dustbin. People in the neighborhood chose to make that place a dustbin. And then we have to clear it off, clean the channel before the rain starts. And that's why you must have noticed we've not had flooding so much in Lagos in the past 2, 3, 4 cycles of rain. We have been proactive. Let us address the human issues. It's when you address the human issues, you save money on health, you save money to take care of other social investments like education. But when people are very dirty, the multiplier effect goes beyond the Ministry of Environment. The budget for Ministry of Health will skyrocket. Logically, it's not rocket science. So for me, we are trying to reset a human process. I'm a Yoruba person, and there's this saying from where I come from. Agbara ojo, kò lóhùn onílé wó, onílé ni ò ní gbà fún. The erosion will not tell you it's not going to come and take away your property, your building. But the owner of the house must resist and find a way to take that erosion off that part of the house. Lagos, like you said, is 1/3 of water. A bit below the sea level, yes. But people have been living here for decades, for centuries. Why can't we find a way to sustain the environment so we can keep it for our own children and our children's children? But if you, as a person, chose to block a water path, so naturally water will find its level. I gave you the example of Victoria Garden City. I don't stay there, but they brought a petition. We saw it ourselves. 3 buildings covered, they blocked a canal that should evacuate their water to the lagoon behind them. Just 3 buildings. And they've been on this for over a decade. So if you are in government and something like this comes to your table, will you cherry pick enforcement? That's a question we should ask ourselves. At Ikota, 12 villages that never got flooded before.
Give me a moment. There are those who are accusing the Lagos State government that the government or officials of government are asking them for money to reopen their shut outlets or markets or offices. Are you aware of these allegations?
Yes, and I said to them when I called them for a meeting that if peradventure you bribe any government official, after you met the requirement and we're on sale, we shall come back to sale because it shows you induced them for the report. So clearly, it's not going to happen under my watch, Sheon. It's never going to happen under my watch. I was aware, and it was a Ladipo market. And we called, and they denied it, and they made a press release the next day that nothing of such happened. So I will take their words for it. And peradventure, we get to know that there was a form of inducement or the other. We shall take steps. There are steps within the structure, within the civil service rules. And then we shall address that appropriately when we get to that bridge. But as far as I know, I trust the people that work with me in the Ministry of Environment. I've been on the field with them. I lead the charge myself. And I'm proud to say nothing of such, from Loma to LASEPA, to LASA, to wastewater, to water corporation, you name it, to drainage services, to KAI, to health officers, they are up and doing. To the task force on environment, they are up and doing. And I want to encourage them to do more. And I appeal to Lagosians also. We don't have to get to this point of enforcement. Sheon. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Both key religion, Muslims, Christians, espouse such that if you are clean, you are at the next level to godliness. So why can't we keep our environment clean for God's sake? Why can't we take the extra steps not to throw our dust, our waste in the drainage path? it doesn't cost us anything but discipline. And also
so
going forward,
I think,
also going forward, we are going to take steps to strengthen the waste management system, looking at the circular economy leg of it. Turning waste to wealth, waste to power is here with us to explore. But we need our people to start changing their orientation, that we shall not continue on this trajectory. We need to save our environment, to save ourselves.
All right. Yeah. So, Mr. Wahab, we need to close now, and I have just less than 60 seconds to do that. There are fears about the opening of the Ogun Dam, the Lagdo Dam, and there are fears also that the fact that some state government have learned nothing in respect of the disasters, the flood disasters that swept farms, houses, livelihoods, that killed several people in the past few years. And the question is, what is Lagos State doing in the case of this large-scale flooding? We've seen it happen even in the center of the city, even in the eyebrow areas of the city, in Lekki area of Lagos, flooded areas of this city. And I remember Muiz Banira, when he was Commissioner for Environment, he said, if you are living in Mushin, if you are living in Agege, congratulations. But if you're living in Lekki and other parts of these other eyebrow area, you are going to be having another problem. This several years ago. Can you tell us, on one hand, some of these areas that are prone to possible flood disasters, and what is Lagos State doing to avert a possible flood disaster? Just in less than 60 seconds.
Thank you very much. We have been very proactive. All our primary channels, like 169 of them, we've been distilling and clearing them off to prepare for it. And for the secondary, we're also doing that across the states. For the tertiary, we're even getting involved to intervene where local governments should get to do their jobs, because we don't want to pass the buck for now. So, Shehu, as a state, we have prepared ourselves for it, and we shall continue to do the enlightenment and advocacy for those people that are staying on those plain paths, like Agboyi and the corridor on that part, that they should be ready to evacuate. If, as we monitor the water level, goes higher than it is, we tell them move out for this and these reasons. By the way, global warming is not peculiar to us. So flooding will not be peculiar to us. But it now requires us to be proactive with our environment and let the environment, that is our master, help us in the way we handle it. Or else, but be rest assured, Lagos can't be flooded. Yeah, there will be ponding in 1 or 2 areas, but within 2-3 hours, they are gone. But as a state, we have been very proactive. We are distilling, we are clearing our primary channels and distilling and cutting away our secondary collectors across the states. And help me appeal to Lagosians. Shehu, we don't have to use force to get the messages out. We want them to cooperate. We want them to see the bigger picture. That whatever we do in the Ministry of Environment replicates and have a multiplier effect on the Ministry of Health. And then if we save money from health, we can now put money in social safety nets to take care of the citizens.
Talking about, we need to go now. We are totally out of time. Yeah. Talking about Wahab, the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos, who advised the governor on education matters the last time around, is now being the enforcement in chief as the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos at the moment. Thank you so much, Tokumba, for your time.
Thank you for having me, Shehu.